Hello and welcome to Clockwork Noodles. We are here finally kicking off the summer anime season. It's finally happened, an anime has dropped, and I'm actually pretty psyched about this one. So I cannot wait to get into the breakdown with you. It is a first episode, so I'm going to be a little bit longer. I'm going to go into some character breakdowns too. We have two characters in particular I want to discuss, and I can't wait to discuss them because there's a lot of nice little things hidden in the artwork on this one. First things first, make sure you are subscribed. Guys, we are 3 subscribers away from 400. Can you guys do me the magic honor of tipping us over the 400 mark? We are so close to being 40% of my way towards my goal. Can you guys find it in your hearts to give me that little nudge? Give me a little nudge. Give me a subscribe. If you have just found me, hello. I break down anime. We do focus a lot more on things like color on this channel. I break down a lot of more visuals. So a lot of things that might be hidden in the backgrounds, looking at music as well lately as well. That's the kind of things we do. We generally get to hear me rambling. There's going to be a bit of rambling this time as well. But if you do like it, please, if you find it in your hearts, help me hit my 40% mark when we hit 400. Thank you guys. There is a Discord channel too for you to stay notified. You get a notification when the videos go up, and it allows you to track of any delays, anything going on in the channel. Perfect place to have that too. So let's begin. First things first, as always, I am a anime only, which means I will not be very happy if people are spoiling in the background. Please don't do it, guys. I think you have much more fun seeing me trying to puzzle things together, and I can look foolish at times if I get things wrong, or we can have a good laugh as I think about something really, really random, or you guys can be completely impressed as I get the plot right. Although I think we might have the ending already given to us on the end of this one, so maybe I got an idea of where we're going. So I think without further ado, I think it is time. Put on your top hats, guys. I have got mine somewhere sitting around. I'll put some pictures somewhere of my amazing steampunk collection. I love steampunk. It's time to put on our top hats. Don your spectacles, my dears. It is time to go to France. It is time to jump into a new story on the channel. This is the case study of Vanitas. This is episode 1. I did tell you guys that this anime comes from the same creators who did Pandora Hearts. I am a massive fan of Pandora Hearts. I am so sad that it died away like it did. And we never got a season 2, so we didn't get that. Maybe Vanitas will do better and actually get that season 2 if it needs one. Who knows? But very excited. I think it's time to start. And the storybook intro is the perfect way to get it all set out. It does remind me a bit of the recent Resident Evil 8, where it's all set up in a storybook. It sets the scene. It's a really nice art style. It's something I've seen often enough with these creators. But we get the general drift. I got the general drift. I can tell you now that I kind of understand. We've got a blue moon vampire who is Vanitas. Now, Vanitas is then an outcast because there are these red crimson moon vampires, and they are, I guess, outnumber him, so there's only really one blue moon vampire. Again, could be wrong. This is what I got from the initial drift. And these guys basically outcast Vanitas. They were like, oh no, you suck, you're blue, go away. Okay, end of. So, Vanitas decides that he wants vengeance, and he creates a cursed book. This is his tome. This ends up leading to the death, from what I can see, from the Crimson. So the Crimson vampires get influenced by a blue light. We do kind of see this happen, but I'll talk about it when we get there. There's some things which didn't quite line up, but then at the end they kind of lined up, so I think I get where we're going. I also did wonder that, why would you want to read from the book? This book has to be pretty amazing. So for you to say suddenly this book is cursed, I'm not going to read it. I don't have that curiosity to kind of do that. I don't know how you're going to market this amazing vengeance killing manual of yours, but I am very excited to see. Let's talk about the OP very quickly. The OP is Sora to Utsuro by Assassinomaly. I like that. That is a nice play on words there. I like it. I think the OP really works. I prefer the ED to the OP, but this is a chill OP. It sets the scene. It's pretty chill. The visuals are fantastic. We do have the contrast of the detailed scenes of Paris. It looks beautiful. And then we get the use of the shibis, where I did believe that we'd get a bit of hidden comedy into this anime, which we definitely do. It definitely delivers. It can be a bit jarring at times, going from the very detailed, beautiful looks of the airships to suddenly a chibi version of one of them. We'll take a bit of getting used to. It's been a while since I've had an anime similar to that, but I like it. It's very good. We have a lot of nice iconology going on, like this spiral staircase. Staircases can go up or down, so they can lead to up or down, your demise, or going somewhere, take you somewhere higher. It's a mystery. So which way are they going up? Which way are you going down? I think these guys are descending. At this point, they are descending into something, descending into the story, perhaps descending into madness. Who knows? Definitely getting some very nice France shots. I've been to France, a very beautiful location in general. This is Paris. It's very nice. We do get to see a few little bits and pieces going around, like the Moulin Rouge. We see the Arc de Triomphe. We also get to see nice little sections of the main roads. I think there's a bit also near Notre Dame. You might even be in Notre Dame a bit later on as well. We do get to see our two MCs, mainly at this point, starting to bounce between one another. The vast differences in who one is to the other one. At this point, I hadn't watched the rest of the anime, so I am reading you my notes as we go along. So if it suddenly looks like I suddenly become knowledgeable at the end, it's because I'm reading as I go along. At this point, didn't know who they were, completely fresh to looking at them both. Different personalities. We had our boy, I can actually call him Noe, I think his name is Noe. Just differences in perhaps these two as well. Noe seeming initially in the OP to be a bit more extroverted. He's very out there, loves colour, loves his artwork. The world around him is a fascination. So I think we definitely do see that with him this time as well, being fascinated by the stars, fascinated by the world that he has. I like that. It's a beautiful sense of curiosity and a fine eye for detail as well. The white as well is a very pure colour. It's innocent. Sometimes can be a bit cold and standoffish as a bit of a negative. I don't think we've seen those particular traits in the character just yet, but I could be wrong. We could see them rear their heads at some point. I think the more innocent, childlike wonder is coming through with the white colour, the fact that he does seem pretty pure at heart, and we do get to see him helping a random stranger out a bit later on as well, which is very, very nice. So very loving the initial details I'm getting from the character breakdowns. Vanitas is a complete opposite to him. We have the black, the darker colours, the mystery, a bit more. Perhaps I was reading introverted, but I don't quite get the introverted nature from this episode. But definitely more someone who would keep themselves to themselves. We do see him being dragged around in the OP by Noe. Didn't really get that feeling from the episode itself. It seemed more the opposite direction. It seems that Vanitas was trying to drag BMC Noe along. But I think it's episode 1. I think a lot can go from here. The beautiful scenery as well, absolutely loving the artwork. We get our pretty cold open. We don't actually open on Vanitas, we open on Noe, who's going to be, I guess, leading the main story. I think we're going to be seeing a lot from his point of view. Setting the scene, essentially. Everyone's talking about vampires. Some people think they're ghost stories. Some people believe that they're real. A lot of people are a bit on the edge. I like the fact that this is the buzz. This is what's going on around Paris. Everyone's talking about it. I love it. It's a great start. I was wondering as well if this anime might become my replacement for Moriarty the Patriot. There's a lot of historical bits and pieces going on that might allow me to delve into some history. Can't quite place it. If it's steampunk, it basically means it's Victorian period, which never happened. So obviously they're all dressed in Victorian attire. So I might be able to get my steampunk and my history fix on this anime. I hope so. But initially, seeing how kind Noe is, he is also very fast on his feet, which kind of gave me a few inklings that he may not be 100% human. Definitely not down the line as well. But he's kind-hearted. We see him rushing to help a character who is fainting, and he doesn't ask any questions. He just helps them. He's that white colour again, that innocence, that childlike, his pure of heart perhaps cold at times. Maybe we'll see that a bit later. Purple, let's talk about purple as well, because it's the colour of his eyes, the colour of the ribbons on his hat. It's mystery. Purple is also the colour of magic. I love that one, and it's going to stay as the colour of magic. Also quite a regal colour. At some points in history, people in the UK could not wear those colours. Those colours were just set for the royal family. It was a very regal colour. He does give off that kind of sense of regalness when I look at him. It's a very gorgeous look in general. I love the tailcoat. It's a very gentle colour as well. He looks exactly how I'd imagine somebody who's looking at the world with childlike wonder. With all these colours you're giving me. Over the moon when he sees that airship coming in. Over the moon when you're falling, he doesn't even freak out when he's falling. He looks at the landscape around him, the beautiful blue moon, and he's just taken in awe of it. He's that kind of character I can definitely get behind. I'm really liking him straight away. I also like the moment where he gives the name for the cat. So, Muur, I think her name is Muur. And you are a beautiful chunk. I love you. Any pet out there, I love you immediately. If you have pets, Tell them I love them, okay? But again, all in favour of me introducing myself via my pets. Say I can tell you guys, this is my rat. He is called Nacho. I could do that. I could happily do it. But I love this. This MC growing on me 100%. Anybody who starts with "this is my pet," you may call him by his first name. I love that. I love that introduction. I got a steampunk gasm. We're going to call it steampunk gasm because that's what it is. The top hats, the pocket watches, everything. And the steamship, the steampunk airship. Oh my God, I wasn't ready. Again, I went into this blind. I saw one trailer, didn't see steampunk. I actually think I just saw the initial fight scene, which we had this episode. Didn't know I was on an airship, guys. I would have been freaking out in the wings, okay? I am a massive fan of steampunk. I've got many modelling photos of me in steampunk attire. I own 16 pocket watches, my oldest dating to 1801. I am a huge pocket watch fan. So if I see pocket watches this anime, I'm freaking. But oh my goodness, the MC reminded me a little bit of me in that point when this episode, looking at it with childlike wonder, a new story for me to delve into. I am so hyped for this story. He is a little bit dense though, I had to say. I don't know if I'm that dense. He's a little bit dense when he's like, "Oh, can I see Paris?" No, you need to get on the ship first, my dear. Get on it. But it's cute. It's charming. I like it. I'm definitely, as much as I'm always team blue, I love blue, guys. Blue is my thing. And I can tell you, when Vanitas is using half of those moves and they're blue, I was absolutely just going, oh my God, yes, I'm so hype. And I'm looking at you, Virgil. This is your fault for me liking blue. But no, I am a very big fan of Noe. I like him. He's great. He's growing on me. At the moment, he's winning by just a hair, just a little tiny hair. But he is, it seems, seeking the book of Vanitas. It seems that he doesn't quite believe it's real, and then he even says, "Oh, you don't believe me." However, she drops the cat, and I'm like, that's a reaction which says, I know that book. I definitely know that book. So him being a little dense and maybe not reading that reaction, maybe missing it as well. But it's cute. Now, Amelia definitely knowing something at this point, and that's not even your name, is it? That's not your name. But she definitely knew something. And again, she's wearing light reds and pinks. They are the colour of passion. They can be the colour of danger and blood. There's going to be a red filter later on. Definitely leaning on my stuff that I use for my Moriarty fans. If you're out there and you have followed me across, you know what I mean. I normally always have to go red filter, red filter. There's a red filter in this one as well. The brief tease of Vanitas, really, really nice. Not too much all at once. Just seeing that he is targeting someone on board. Again, at this point, didn't know who he was targeting. Could have been targeting to No Way at this point. Maybe he knew he was after his book. I hope this book isn't just full of, like, embarrassing secrets or something. I really hope it... Actually, I really hope it is. We don't quite get a name for our boy No Way at this point. I do hear Mon Chaton used. And he also says kitten. So I don't know if that might just mean kitten. But we have a mysterious teacher who has set up our boy to try and find this book, which initially seemed to have been believed a legend. I believe there might be a bit more down the line with his teacher. He might also be the guy we see right at the end where Noe is looking at the blue moon and he's not freaking out. He's actually the guy who kind of smiles by this, so it might be some mystery to do with this teacher. I can't wait to find out. Vanitas' attack, oh, it's so good. I have a thing for breaking glass when it's animated really well. The breaking glass moment and the lights going out, really nice touch, really like that. I think Vanitas' VA for me might take a little getting used to, just a little bit. He was a bit more childlike than I thought he would be. It does grow on me. I think it starts to work a bit more at the end when I start to get a bit more warmed up to who Vanitas might be. The music at this point, absolutely fantastic. Really like it. The angles, the use of the angles, showing Vanitas at a slight odd tilt, showing us that something might be a little bit amiss, but he is super smooth. Seeing him going in for that fight using blades, mwah, love it. Seeing the fight also from afar, seeing it in shadow, really nicely done. I do like that occasionally. It means we don't really know what's going on. It's not clear what's going on. We know there's a fight going on, but the details aren't really given to us. It's a bit odd that nobody is around on this magnificent ship, so I did find that a bit weird. But it is a pretty exciting first fight. We have essentially 3 vampires in the sequence. Amelia perhaps dying, but not dying. I did think that she was cursed by this, but the curse is then reversed, which is the bit I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. So she does complain that she's cold, and she does say a bit earlier that it's her anemia. anemia is something where you don't have enough iron in your blood, so meaning she needed blood in her system, which lots of little subtle hints that if you're not looking for them, they are there, just to give you a hint that she is actually a vampire. And as well, she can't feel the warmth. Again, if you're anemic as well, you do feel the cold a bit more. The mind state, perhaps her inner self, where she goes with the flowers all around her, very innocent colours, very gorgeous colours, but then seeing the black tarnish, this black curse eating away, dribbling out, making everything around her, the death of these innocent, beautiful flowers. Very nice sequence. I like this use, this showing that this is inside of her head, and then going out to show us that she's just freaking out in the real world. I like this. The anime vampires very, very quickly. It's not really messing around. Amelia going in to bite our boy. I don't know if vampires biting vampires is a thing. I don't know if that would give her what she needs. Normally vampires bite because they need blood. Okay, cool, fair enough. Rolling with it. But I am getting some very heavy Pandora Heart vibes, and I love it because I love that anime to pieces, and it's nice to see another attempt at going into that style of artwork, but a new story in that style. Some nice hidden horror elements too, seeing the horror in her eyes. The fangs are really heavily drawn just to really hone in on it. The blood dripping, the blackness as well, showing there's that tarnish in the blood as well. I like it. I think it's done really nicely. This as well, guys. Red filter. Red filter is being used. Red filter generally thrown on to show danger. Also blood, I mean literally blood in this point, but mainly just danger. Something is dangerous, something is uncomfortable. It's fantastic. Seeing Amelia breaking down and becoming more uncontrollable off the walls, attacking everyone around her. We also get to see things like the vine usage, the powers going out of control, and I think we get in the information thrown around that it is a taboo to bite humans or attack humans. Little bits being thrown in, which is quite nice. The Vanitas blue powers suddenly wiping out that red filter. Team blue all the way. But we do get to see initially the curse in action. I put some air quotes here because he kind of undoes it, which I want to talk about right at the end. First episode serving as an introduction to vampires, to Vanitas, the curse, the book, the idea of the world. We get to meet Vanitas in general. He introduces himself as a doctor, which is quite nice. The book as well, the intro to seeing the book unfolding. Trinity Blood vibes right there and then. That book is gorgeous. The blue is gorgeous. Love it. I don't care if it's CGI. Looks good. Nice use of it. The glowing text as well. I guess I'm a simp for the colour blue, guys. I'm sorry. I love the colour blue. You might even notice that my character, the little icon I used for my channel, she's got one blue eye, one purple eye because she's that cool. But absolutely loving it. Seeing it looks like the writing is almost starlight constellations, the way it's been put. And that is also what we see flooding out to start surrounding Amelia. The book is beautiful. Really like it. Vanitas also getting to show off who he is and seeing him in action. It's really, really nice. And because it's quite cold, we don't really know what's going on. We're being kind of bounced around and it looks good. Amelia inside of the mind space, I guess it's a mind space, now trapped by a fawns inside a cage. It's really nice visuals. Fawns are often used to show that you feel trapped, you can't move, they're piercing in, they are engulfing you. Vanitas cures Amelia by giving her her proper name, which is Florifal. So a bit of an idea of how things work around here. So the name ended up being claimed by a curse, which ended up driving her crazy, but then reclaiming her name ended up curing the curse. So he does say that this is a reverse curse of the book, so it's a reverse use. This is where I went, Vanitas is good, question mark. I don't think so. I think I know where we're going with it, but okay. It's interesting to see that there is a way of reversing it. The roof collapsing in on his head as he's getting all high and mighty to introduce himself. That was hilarious. I wasn't expecting it. Nice touch of comic at the right moment. Appreciated it a lot. Then seeing him kind of getting knocked out completely. The music and the visuals at this point as well. Looks beautiful, where we get to see Noe going overboard with him, but that's when we see that childlike fascination coming out again as he is entranced by the beautiful blue moon. We also do hear that the idea that the moon is a misfortune. However, blue is actually a very calming colour. Blue has actually got a lot of positives to it. People also consider blue a healing colour, depending on what type of blue you're using, but the type of blue we're using here, it's gentle, it's calm. Vanitas upside down in the floor on that beautiful landing. That I love. That is outstanding. 10 out of 10 landing right there. I love it. I really did enjoy seeing that little moment. There's little moments like that kind of showing me that there's going to be a lot of comic moments that I think I can get behind. But, my dears, I initially thought we had a simp. No way, simping completely for how amazing Vanitas was. And I was like, okay, this is it. I can get behind this as well. Where we are finally introduced to his full name as he gives his full name. And then Vanitas, behind that beautiful religious backdrop, that lighting is beautiful, where he asks Noe to join him, and then he gets rejected. So I was like, actually, maybe we're not. Maybe we haven't got a simp. Oh, I'll hold the simp alert. Not just yet. But it's really nice. I like the setting of use of the church, because at this point he's asking for a union, a bit like a marriage in that sense. He tells us that vampires are going extinct, but Vanitas isn't going to let that happen, which is very odd. But the lighting is gorgeous. It's a blue purple coming through that stained glass. Really nice. The chime as well, where initially the two's paths has crossed. The union perhaps had begun at this point. An unexpected team had maybe begun. Although we do see him kind of still rejecting him. Now, the next bit, where you basically tell me that Vanitas is going to die by Noe's hand. Spoilers much, man. Why did you spoil it in episode 1? Why? So, basically, it was something not adding up. Something wasn't adding up anyway, because I was told right at the start that Vanitas was outcast. He wanted his vengeance, so he had created a curse book, and he was going to destroy the red crimson vampires. But then, 360 this episode, we see him actually using it to save a vampire. Now, this is where I was like, well, either the saving vampire thing is a lie, or your idea of saving them is death, but you didn't kill Florifel. Stuff not adding up, but then you telling me he's going to kill him at the end, meaning he's probably going to go off the charts and be bad guy. Interesting. The ED, I prefer the ED, but not a lot happens in the actual ED to talk about. We just see them reaching for one another, trying to help one another. We see Noe trying to reach down to save and pull Vanitas up. However, then we are given the sequence of Vanitas holding his claws to his throat. Him trying to save Vanitas may be the thing which is going to end up getting him in danger, because Vanitas is going to turn around and try killing him. Maybe, could read that. The ED is 0 by LMYK. The end as well, seeing Vanitas still trying to harass poor Noe to helping him out, join forces, where Noe ends up collapsing, and we get some more comic moments with the shibis, and then we end up with the Vanitas exclaim right at the end. Absolutely perfect. Love it. Fantastic first episode. You've definitely left a mark on me. Now, let's quickly talk about some of the details on Vanitas. His colours are blue, white, and black. Quite a pale blue. It reminds me of CL Phantom Hive's kind of colours. We've got these darker colours with the blacks. We've got black is an absence of colour, so whenever you see it, it generally means something a little bit darker. The character is slightly darker. It's going to perhaps show those darker hints to the character when they start rearing their heads. So I think they're there. I definitely think they're hidden amongst this more childlike facade going on. The gentle pale blue is actually, as again, it's quite innocent, it's childlike, it's a gentle healing colour. So blue in general, a very heal colour. Do bear in mind that blue has a negative trade-off to being very cold. You can come across as cold, a bit detached at times as well. Whether we're going to see that happen, perhaps. He does seem a little bit childish, a little bit childlike in the way that he acts and he speaks, because the VA is giving me that. I might have to get used to that one still. The flamboyant attire fits the period, of course, fitting the period. But again, perhaps showing that he is slightly more bold in his choices. The choice is a very bold outfit to make. And he definitely seems very confident. When he is spoken to, he's confident. He's there to address the people around him as he is asked why, we're going to arrest you because you've just kind of broken in. He's very bold when he tries to address them and gets smacked in the head by a boulder. I like it. The hair is messy, but it is still controlled. So the top half is pretty messy. It's a black mess, but it is in a ponytail at the bottom. So he may appear calm, but perhaps underneath he could be a bit more out of control. Maybe showing you that he may be trying to appear controlled, but he's not hiding the fact that he's a bit of a mess underneath. Perhaps, again, this is what I'm doing a cold reading on Vanitas without knowing anything about the guy. The earring definitely seemed to be an important part. We've got blue and some golds. It looks like a time turner. We've seen some of his powers. He has the ability to summon cogs. So I would say cogs, time. Maybe he's got the ability to control time of some sort. It's going to be very interesting to see that explained. But I like it. I like me a good cog. That is my initial breakdown on those two. So, overall feeling, I actually really enjoyed the first episode. It gave me a lot. I'm not quite sure I appreciate being told that Noe's going to kill him at the end. I don't know. I perhaps I'll forget that you told me, but I doubt it. So I don't know if I appreciate being told the ending of the story right at the start. We'll have to see how that sits. But apart from that, I love the setting. I like the color issues. I like the differences in the two. So they've definitely got a chemistry starting to build where we've got a bit more of this childlike, dense, maybe very loving quite character compared to maybe the more twisted, darker, but still quite funny character that is Vanitas. Gonna be interesting to get to know him. I like the world that we're in. I like the idea of vampires. Been a while since I've seen a vampire anime, so bring it on. I think it's been too long since I've had a good vampire anime. Very excited to see this one go. I really hope you guys can join me along for the journey as I start to explore the world that is the case study of Vanitas. Very excited. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this one. I picked it up just because it was appearing on quite a few hype charts. So everyone was hyping it up. It was on quite a few of them. So I was like, okay, if it's getting a lot of hype, I'm going to go and watch it because I'm not going to miss out on something if it's going to be good. I can see why there might have been a bit of hype, but it depends where the story's going to go. Very excited, cannot wait to see where the story takes us. It does say that there is a question mark amounts of episodes on the main MAL. So if you do know how many actual episodes there are, I'm guessing there's either 12 or 13. Please let me know because I have no idea if I'm in this for the long run or if it's just one season. Thank you guys so much. I am Clockwork Dandy Noodles, the queen of the broth. I hope you find some good ramen after this. Go find it. And I will see you again next time. Bye-bye, guys.